All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to go over a lot of different ideas for listings. So it should be a great brainstorm session. So before we get into today's presentation, I'm going to bring on corporate broker for ARG, Bill Seitz. Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
I am doing all right. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. All right, perfect. And I'm also going to bring on the amazing Cameron Alley from Clearview Mortgage. Good morning, Cameron.
What's going on, Kevin? How are you?
We're doing well. We're making it happen today on Wednesday.
Yep.
And did you want me to make you a panelist today, bud?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's
got some good stuff to go over today.
Love it. All right, so you should be a panelist at some point here.
All right, looks like we're good. Let me just share my screen real quick.
All right, do it.
All right, guys. So we got some pretty good stuff to go over today. I'm going to try and make the mortgage update pretty quick because I want to get into the good news. So mortgage demand, actually, this is good news, but mortgage demand rose last week for the first time in 6 weeks, coming off of the low that we've seen, for about really the past 20 years. Refinances were up 10% and purchase applications are up 5%. So this is obviously a good trend for us, showing that people are starting to get more comfortable in this rate region. Even with a substantial rate increase last week, business does seem to be picking up a little. And I wanted to touch real quick on the Fed rate and what it actually means, because a lot of people don't really know, and it's really important to know this, but the Fed hike, the rate increase itself has no functional connection to mortgage rates at all, except for in the rare cases of certain lines of credit that are based on the prime rate. So what is that? That's like your home equity lines, right? So your home equity lines, those products are completely connected to the Fed rate increase. However, mortgage rates, which are based on the 10-year treasury and MBSs, like mortgage-backed securities, really have no relative connection. So they're almost completely independent. They're really only increasing right now, like mortgage rates, due to the amount of bonds that are being sold on the market. And I've touched on that before. But in other words, even if the Fed kept raising rates, there's no telling how it's truly going to affect, mortgage rates. So just important to know, because it's a common misconception. I even didn't know that until, really a few years ago, how it actually works. But so basically what I'm saying is we don't really have a crystal ball. So expect the unexpected, and hopefully we'll be pleasantly surprised rather than not pleasantly surprised. But as we're seeing with the current data, as home prices begin to soften, which they already are, we can expect for business to really start moving in an uptrend direction. And I really believe that. As a broad overview, the average best execution rate is around 6.25 nationally on a primary 30-year mortgage right now, which is the highest since about, the late 90s. But I'm really excited to go over today some new programs that we have rolled out to help your buyers get a rate way below what the market is offering. So we'll talk about that shortly. But in other news, nearly 25% of home builders also reported lowering home prices. That's up about 6% from 19% in August. So even new builds are also starting to begin to soften a little bit. So maybe check those out if any of your clients were looking to that, because the chances are maybe the prices have gone down a little bit. And hopefully that'll start to motivate more buyers. I also want to share some updates on underwriting real quick. Fannie and Freddie are easing requirements on variable income. This is income like overtime, hourly employees, per diem employees, etc. For a long time, if you weren't on salary, you didn't get your true income, right? You didn't get your full income, because they would kind of give you only a certain amount due to the flexibility of your income. But they are easing that up. So that is a good thing. That means that people are going to be getting more income that aren't salary employees. It's going to be easier to use that overtime and things like that. However, self-employment has been very tough. Condition requirements market-wide are getting a little harder, which is normal during like a recession. And it's a little easier than it was when at the beginning of COVID. That was, I've never seen anything like that as far as self-employment. But so just know that, be prepared, make sure your buyers are prepared. and that you're working with somebody who's willing to do the work, because it might be quite a bit of work on self-employment. So just know that going in. But that's pretty much all I have for the mortgage update. I'll let Bill take the reign real quick, because we have a couple things we want to talk about there.
Yeah, well, last week, I don't know if everybody noticed, but Cameron and I were gone, and we were actually out at United Wholesale getting tuned up in the leadership conference, going through market updates, getting the latest, basically news and industry forecasting, and really spending some time with our partners out there, our account executive. And I don't know if Kevin, you have the picture that I yeah, so there we are. It's just nice, we about once a quarter we'd go out to United Wholesale. We go and meet with our account executives. Here's myself and Cameron, Amelia, one of our outstanding processors, a couple of our account executives. And so we had an incredible 3-day intensive training, and like I said, just getting tuned up. Cameron's going to review one of these new products that United Wholesale is launching. This is super exciting, and it's good for everybody to know that's what we do time to time over at Clearview. Is we do take the time to step away to get the latest mortgage update, what the industry is saying, what the forecast is saying, what the new products that are coming out. And so that was just a really fun time for everybody to get together and do that. And with Cameron, do you want to go into that new product they're launching?
Yes, I will. I'll share my screen again. All right. So can everyone see you again?
Affirmative.
Good. All right, perfect. So basically what UWM is doing to kind of help, this is going to help the market a lot. They're offering 2-1 buy down. And basically what this program is, it's only on purchases, and it's seller related. But what it's going to do is it's going to help your sellers not necessarily have to lower their price. And then it's going to help your buyers get in at a way lower rate, basically an introductory rate. The loan's still fixed, basically, but the first 2 years you get a lower rate than what the note rate is. So I'll explain a little bit. So basically, year one, the rate would be 2% lower than the note rate. So let's say you got a 6%, right? That first year, your rate's going to be a 4%. Year two, that rate's going to be a 5%. And then year three, that would go to the full note rate, right? So you'd be back at 6%. But what do we all know? Within 3 years, mortgage rates are going to soften. They are going to go down eventually. So that's going to set up those buyers to do a quick refinance and then get that lower rate basically immediately. But to show you kind of what it is from a payment perspective, I have this cool little calculator. Let me see if I can pull this up. And then I'll explain what the requirements are so that everyone gets it. So, all right. So basically, this is a 2-1 buy down calculator. So let's say enable editing. Let's say it's a $700,000 purchase, right? Just to make it easy. So basically, if your buyer was going to buy a house for $700,000, or let's say that the loan amount was $700,000 and they were buying it for, $850, they were putting 20% down or something like that, right? That $700,000, even though it's a 6% interest rate, that first year, the payment is going to be based on a 4%, right? Rather than a 6%. So that monthly savings is $854.95 that first year, right? On the second year, that effective rate is going to be at 5%. So you're still saving $439.10 a month. 3 to 30, as I mentioned, it is fixed. So it'd be a 6% at $4,196. So that's what the actual payment should be, right? Now, what this is going to do is two things that are really important. Obviously, it's going to make the home more attractive to the buyer. They still have to qualify on that 6% rate when they're buying the home, but the payment's going to be a heck of a lot less, right? So that's going to make it more attractive to the buyer, and it's also going to make it so the seller hopefully won't have to drop the price on their house too much, right? Now, here's the one thing that it's not necessarily a catch, but this is how it works. So the subsidy is seller paid, right? So let's say if you're going to do this program, the total subsidy is $15,528. It would have to be paid by the seller. It can only be paid by the seller. It can't be paid by the buyer. But if you look at this payment savings, let's say $854 payment savings the first year, and the second year $439. How much would they have to cut the price on their house to get the payment that low? You're talking, $150,000, $200,000, right? To save $854 in that first year. So that's a huge, huge, huge benefit to the seller, even though they have to fork up that cash out of the net proceeds that they're going to make. They're still putting way more money in their pocket, and they're going to have way more buyers flooding their property if the listing agent tell them, hey, we have this program for all the buyers. You have to qualify normally, but if you do this program, which is literally conventional FHA VA, it's literally just paper stuff. The only thing is you can't do it on jumbos, right? So it has to be conventional or FHA or VA within conforming limits. But very powerful stuff. If anyone has questions on it, feel free to give me a call, and make sure that this is a part of, if you have a listing, this has to be a part of your pitch, because this is going to get way more buyers to come to you because no one else is offering this.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that, Cameron. Especially in an environment where sellers are probably a little more willing to, do a concession, or maybe get a little creative. Maybe the house has been on the market 40, 50, 60 days. It's slow. You don't have any offers. This is an incredible tool to make a transaction move forward. So, I know we covered a little bit of, territory here quickly, but you should really reach out to Cameron and really fully understand this, because this is an incredible tool or instrument to sell the homes. And what it does too for the buyer, it's really a win-win. The buyer, yes, they're qualifying off the full rate, but it allows them to ease into this payment, right? And part of our trip to United Wholesale was learning, what is the forecast for the coming years? What does 2024 look like? What does 2025 look like? And Matt Ishbia, President, CEO of United Wholesale, part of his sales meeting last week was talking about when they are anticipating rates to be, feel relief from the rate environment. And all indications are 2025. So this product here really fits that well, because as we're moving into 2023, you've got a buyer that can start, 2 points or 2 percentage points less than their note rate. They can ease into the payment and also be confident that they're going to be in a rate environment that'll have some relief down the road. It's really covers a lot of benefits and a lot of, points that can help both buyer and seller, achieve what their goals are. So something to seriously consider, something to really get your head around, and also make yourself, you're better than the next agent, because I can guarantee you 95% of agents out there have no idea what this program is and don't know how to use it and don't know how to sell property with it. So this is a way for you to separate yourself and actually get more deals done in this real estate environment.
Yep. And I'll add one more thing too. With a lot of programs, there's special requirements, right? There's extra things that you have to kind of jump through and jump through hoops to get it done. This is literally underwritten just like a conventional loan or an FHA loan or a VA loan. So it's easy, which is great.
Well, that's amazing. And we do have 2 questions, guys. First one is there a prepayment penalty?
There is not a prepayment penalty on this at all.
Okay.
No, none of the programs that UWM does at all have any prepayment penalties. With the exception of the home equity lines, they don't have a prepayment penalty, but they basically have, the only thing that has any time restriction is their HELOCs, which are basically you have to wait 90 days after your first withdrawal to take more money. That's the only program that has anything like that at all.
Okay. And then the second question is from John Espinosa. He asks, how does that show up on a settlement statement? Is it the seller pays buyer's lender?
Yeah, it'd be a seller's credit, I believe, right, Bill? Seller concession, something like that.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right.
Seller's debit. I'm sorry, not credit.
Okay, perfect. And then Eugene asks, any limit on the loan amounts?
Yes. So you have to do it has to be within conventional limits. So for example, if you got 1 second, I'll just tell you, like,
For sure.
also too, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we are honoring the new 2023 loan limits, conventional loan limits. So that's huge as well. That's another huge thing, because obviously they went up. Nationwide, it's 715,000 is the new conventional rate, right? But in California, obviously it's a lot higher. So if I'll just tell you, like LA County or something, just so you can see, or Orange County. Where is it? California County. I think it's 970. I just want to make sure that I have it right. So for Orange County, which is the same as LA, it's going to be, this is not updated. I think it's like 970. I'm pretty sure 970,500 or something, but I can check on that and put it in the chat in a second if you guys need to go over something.
Cool. And then
just
condos, okay. Sorry.
Yep. Works on
just so everybody knows, there's just like, aside from the nationwide conventional loan limit, there's high cost of living counties, which just are, they take into consideration the high cost of, the Bay Area, LA, Orange County, San Diego as well. They are higher than the national conventional conforming limit. So Riverside, San Bernardino, some of those other counties, they don't get the benefit of the high cost. So that's where it fluctuates. And so that's why you see a difference.
Yeah. And you can literally just Google it, but I'll put the, when I find it, I'll put the link in the chat so everyone can see.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. I mean, that's a huge one. And that's, we talk about this kind of stuff a lot. These are the kinds of things that set you apart from other agents and give you relevancy. And this is when you get to prove that you are an expert in your field by bringing this kind of information to your sphere of influence and to your clients. So that's huge, Cameron. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, great. And Bill, thanks for your insight as well. Before we get into today's presentation, I do want to welcome a few of our new agents. We have a brand new agent, Phyllis Callahan, on the line. So welcome, Phyllis. It's great to have you on the line with us. And then, of course, we always want to make sure that everybody is reminded that we did just launch Legacy Escrow, and Raquel Bauer, our awesome Legacy Escrow officer, is here for us. And this is the way that you get a hold of her: 949-200-9305, and Raquel at legacyescrowservice.com. So a lot of agents already taking advantage of that. So that's great. And then anything else, Bill? I know that we are also going to be coming out with our ARG app probably within the next 3 weeks. And so that's going to be amazing. It's going to have the ability for our agents to communicate with each other. We'll also be able to, kind of post questions and get kind of some forums going, that kind of thing. So it should be really exciting, and it should help communication out a lot. We'll have information available right on your phone, right when you need it. So that's exciting as well. Anything else, Bill?
No, I just wanted to add to that. We got a preview of the app yesterday, and the interface and the functionality of it. It is absolutely top shelf. This is going to be a really good, useful tool for you guys when you're out in the field, for information sharing, for connecting with other agents within the organization. It's really going to be an outstanding way to, streamline your business. It's really going to be great.
Yeah, and then Courtney she's kind of obsessed with technology. So when we launch it, it's going to have a lot of great functionality, but she is going to be constantly honing that for us as we go. So should be a very, very cool work in progress and a tool for everyone. All right, cool. So let's get into today's presentation. Let me share my graphic with you guys. So we're always looking for ways to get more listings. Obviously, that's the holy grail to maintaining a successful real estate business, is to have a constant supply of listings. So how do we get those? Well, there's a million ways to do it. we're going to go through a few ideas today. And so hopefully this will just kind of give you guys something to think about. And maybe there's some things in here that you haven't thought about yet. So first one is optimize and utilize your CRM. There's no better way to get more listings than to keep track of the people in your sphere of influence, and make sure that you are. What they mean by optimize means have notes in your CRM, have it divided up into proper groups. So optimizing and using your CRM is super huge. Personalized outreach and direct mail. So there should be basically, again, optimizing your CRM means you're going to have a few A-list clients, right? So reach out to those A-list clients with some direct mail, personalized direct mail, handwritten, goes a long way. Cultivate your professional network. We have in our ARG YouTube channel, we have tons and tons of trainings on just this, of creating a professional network, being able to refer your clients to those people, making sure that those people within your professional network, these are plumbers, handymen, contractors, painters, all this kinds of stuff. They are also going to refer you business because you have cultivated your professional network. So you will get listings through that network if you cultivate it properly. Go through your phone contacts. Absolutely. Make sure that people in your phone are part of your CRM. Always grow the contacts within your CRM. And there could be a few gems in your phone contacts that you forgot about. And you just want to be able to reach out to those people and let them know that you're doing real estate. You're not a secret agent. You are out there. Master alternative lending strategies to provide options to relocating sellers. So that's exactly what we talk about every Wednesday, or that's what Cameron and Bill talk about every Wednesday, right? So, knowing those lending strategies and offering advice and being able to connect your clients with those professionals like Cameron and the others at Clearview Mortgage, very, very key. And you will get listings because you are that expert and you're always providing those kind of outside the box solutions. So super important. Work your referral network all day. That's just so easy. You should be always working your referral network. That's where you're going to get the bulk of your listings. Buy seller leads through paid ads, of course. Utilize some of these, Realtor.com and Zillow, and utilize some of these alternative, paid ads, especially if you have a strong budget and you're able to afford those. I know for some of you that are starting out, those are very, very expensive and probably not the best way to go, just coming out of the gates. Look into abandoned properties. Go into your neighborhoods and adjacent neighborhoods and see if there are opportunities to drum up your own listings just by doing a little work. Become familiar with apps like DropOffer and Vulcan 7. So DropOffer is the app that, or a website that allows you to place offers on off-market properties. So you can drum up listings in that way. And then Vulcan 7 is a kind of a seller lead program. I don't know too much about it, but apparently it is pretty good. A little expensive, a little on the expensive side, but you guys can research that. Some of these we won't go completely into detail, but make a hard pitch for leasebacks. Look for poorly marketed properties. That's a great one. You could steal clients by looking at properties that are just not marketed well, and then you can go in and say, hey, I'd like to offer my services, right? Look for real estate sales to find potential listings. So, estate sales. So estate sales are a great opportunity to have a conversation with the person that's doing the estate sale, find out where they are in the process, if they're going to be selling the home, If they're going to be renting the home, who knows? But make that connection and start the conversation. Whenever you get a lead, check to see if they have a current property to sell. That's obvious. Provide solutions for homeowners who need to sell before they can buy a new home. That goes back to what Cameron's talking about. Nurture your sphere of influence and past clients as referral sources. We talk about that all the time. That's just, I think we beat that dead horse, consistently. Look for opportunities to schedule FaceTime with your top potential listing leads. So again, those are your A clients, really push for scheduling FaceTime, and then stay in touch with past clients. Take advantage of their rehire potential repeatedly. So, we really want to make sure that you're always keeping in contact with people that you sold or, helped buy property. So this is really, really key. People or agents, when they find out that, a past client went with another agent, that is the death blow. That hurts so bad, but it's most likely your fault if that happens, because you didn't stay top of mind and you didn't stay in touch with those past clients, right? Monitor social media accounts for life changes that might inspire a change in address. So we've got a few agents that really interact with social media. They're able to know what their clients and what their friends and what the people in their sphere of influence or their quote unquote friends on Facebook or on Instagram, what's happening, so, maybe there's a wedding, maybe there's a divorce, maybe there's a life change, and that could give you the impetus to make that phone call and reach out. Prospect expired listings from 1 to 3 years ago. That's not a bad idea at all. Sometimes people just kind of get over it. Things fall out of escrow for many different reasons. Right now, we're starting to see that. And so you can prospect expired listings and go back and see if they're ready to sell now. Focus on homeowners between the ages of 50 and 60 years for relocation and second home purchases. So that's a great one. You can do some demographic searches and you can reach out to those people and offer your services for relocation, for downsizing, for second home purchases, that kind of stuff. Focus on newer remote workers who may need larger spaces, more conducive to home offices. So that's a huge push right now with the whole COVID pandemic situation, forcing people out of offices into the home offices. So now maybe there is a need for people to have a little bit more space to incorporate their home office. Focus on non-owner occupied homes. Sure, you can of course get that kind of information from your title reps. Prospect expired rental listings. Prospect 100 homes surrounding an under contract listing in your market. That's great. That's not known. Many people call that circle marketing. So I think that's a really good idea. Is anytime you have a listing, market to all the homes in that area. Let them know that you're the expert in the area. Provide them CMAs. This next one's great. Send unsolicited video CMAs to homeowners in your sphere. So you could do that same thing in that surrounding market. And data shows, it's a great little static on data shows that every 16.5 times you send a CMA, you'll find a homeowner who is interested in selling. Now, whether that's accurate or not, there is definitely a metric of if you send video CMAs or even just regular CMAs to homeowners consistently, that's a really, really good way to drum up business, because you're really just providing really good information for those people for free. So not a bad idea. Use Cloud CMA to send those personalized home value reports to past buyers. Most of us have Cloud CMA free to us through our MLSs. So utilize that. There's also tons of other CMA programs. There's thousands of them. Cloud CMA is great though. Use sly broadcasts to let homeowners know about recently closed sales in a neighborhood. So sly broadcast is one of those phone programs that leaves a voicemail without ringing the person's phone. So you could, spam a whole bunch of people in the neighborhood, let them know about recently closed sales in the neighborhood, let them know who you are, all that good stuff. So a little aggressive, but it definitely works for some people. Use social media marketing to look for home needed buyer requests. So sometimes people post on social media, hey, I'm looking for a home. So just be, fishing for those things that come up on social media. Prospect for probate listings. Some of you are masters at this. Cultivate a real estate farm in the neighborhood where you live. That's a really good idea because you live in an area, that's your sphere of influence, you know the neighbors. It's a really good idea to become the neighborhood expert. That's kind of an easy one. Use SmartZip predictive analysis to determine who may be ready to sell. And again, you can work with your title reps and they can help you with that kind of stuff. Prospect owners of long-term rental properties. Absolutely. Keith Powers, one of our agents, he does a really good job of rental properties. Use the tried and true circle prospecting strategy. That was what we just went over of, prospecting to 100 homeowners in the adjacent area for listings that you have. Prospect to 3 to 7 year old track build neighborhoods. Not a bad idea. Those people might be ready to go. Hold well-planned open houses. Absolutely. Invite the neighborhood. Make sure that you're providing CMAs to the people in the neighborhood. Super good opportunity for you to meet the neighbors and for you to introduce yourself as a leader in that area. Use bold leads to find homeowners who are looking for a home valuation. Bold leads, I have not tried myself, but I've heard good things about it. So if any of you guys have experience with bold leads, let me know. Work with divorce attorneys and offer services for divorced couples, of course. Most times when people are getting divorced, they're going to sell the house. Prospect with out-of-town homeowners. Prospect with for sale by owners, for sure. Prospect among out-of-town lot owners. That's a good one. Build a relationship with new builders, new home builders in your market. That's a really good one. Work with lead groups, referral groups, networking groups. Regularly contact expired listings, even those that are newly expired. Consider door knocking. Absolutely consider door knocking, especially in your farm. Create a top 25 VIP list for special attention and prospecting, for sure. Some people call it an A list, some people call it a VIP list. Whatever it is, those are your top ones. Shower them with gifts, information, all that kind of stuff. That's what you want to do for your top 25. Play matchmaker with buyer most wanted posts in social media. Same kind of things before. Use a door knocking script. Sure. Look for orphan neighborhoods and become their top of mind agent of choice. Certain neighborhoods, you can kind of see that there's not a lot of agents in that area. You could kind of move in and take over. Reach out to past buyers who may be ready to sell, of course. Capture and cultivate online seller leads. Build a real estate database and fill it with homeowners. So know who is in an area, and the databases are always the best things for you to be doing. Get everybody in your CRM, divide it up properly, make sure that you have tags and groups, and you have everything. The more information you have in your CRM, the easier it is for you to, one, communicate with those people properly and to segment them properly. So very, very important. Utilize AdWorks, sphere of influence campaigns, stay top of mind with your homeowners in your area. AdWorks, we've gone over that a few times. That allows you to create retargeting ads. And so if you've ever done a search for shoes and then you get on a different website and all of a sudden there's banner ads for shoes, that's retargeting. So not bad. Learn about trade-in and iBuyer programs in your area. So sometimes your clients will ask you about some of these, about iBuyer and things like that. Just learn about that stuff, do some research, and that way, again, you provide a little bit more value to your clients. Understand high probability listing targets to ensure more effective marketing. Ensure you can stay in touch with past clients so you don't lose on a sale and follow and have a failure to follow up. So same kind of thing as before. So as I put this out in the replay, you guys can go through the rest of these. But really I want everybody to just keep this kind of list in mind, go through it occasionally, and just, if you're not hitting, your listing goals, see if there's a few more things that you can do. There's definitely always something additional that you can try to get more listings. So that is the bulk of my presentation today. Bill, any big takeaways for you today?
Yeah, there's quite a bit on that list. Obviously you can't do it all, so you got to pick the things that work for you.
Right.
We had a gal, one of our agents, that she participated in the Hero program. So that's a real good one. I'm really fond of that whole that whole platform where you're servicing teachers, firefighters, police officers, and military. And I think 15% gets rebated back to the Hero. And these groups are so well networked. It's a perpetual source of business referrals, and it's really easy to set those things up, really easy to market to. I think if that's something that you're interested in, we could even talk, Kevin and I, a little further on that. Also the title rep, if you have a good relationship with your title rep, or need to get that going, the statistics show 7 to 10 years is really the magic number as far as people deciding to change where they live, or making a decision on moving, or buying, either downsizing or buying bigger or relocating. So those statistics are the ones you're going to want to target. Maybe you don't go after the people that just moved in a year ago, but if you're canvassing an area, that 5 to 10 years is probably the sweet spot, or more, right? And then also, the use of the CRM is super important too, because you can kind of put that on autopilot. If you have all their information, their date of birth, their anniversary dates. I have one on autopilot just from just my past clients, and I actually just got someone reached out to me last week because I wished him a happy birthday, and so he got the happy birthday notice. He called me, said, "Hey, I need to get a HELOC or equity line," and so just simply having that on autopilot in the background, it triggered a lead for myself. I've had a couple of conversations with him. Looks like he's going to move forward, and I need to help him out, just free up some of his equity. So the stuff works. It's just a matter of putting it into place and putting all this stuff into practice.
For sure. Bill, I just got from you on autopilot. You probably don't even know. I just got my congratulations for 1 year of my mortgage loan. My loan's a year old, so I just was congratulated by you. Thank you.
Right. And so you'll get another one on your birthday in February, and you'll get a couple more throughout the year. So it's just that's something that you just got to have going. I mean, even if it got you one deal extra a year, that's a pretty profound extra income chunk that you weren't maybe getting before.
For sure. No, great points. And then Cameron, was there something else you wanted to add?
Yep. So you guys can see here, I just got the county limits. So for all the high cost counties in California, you're LA, Orange, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, the new conforming limit is 1,073,000. So they gave you basically another $100,000 on the conforming limit. That's huge. That goes live in 2023, but we can do it now. And then San Diego's 971,912. And you got your other counties like Santa Barbara 865. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff on here, but basically they're live and they're a lot larger. So I mean, a lot of homes are not going to fall into the jumbo category anymore, hopefully, in a lot of these areas at 1,073,000. And remember, that's not purchase price, that goes off the loan. So you can buy a $1.2 million house and the loan's 1,073,000 and you're still in conforming limits. So that's all I wanted to share.
Oh, that's great. Really appreciate that. So if you need to see those again, just go ahead and contact Cameron and he can take care of you. All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the webinar again. We really appreciate it. It's always a great idea to take at least half hour a week and learn a little bit about mortgages, learn a little more about real estate marketing or some of the other things that we cover. So much appreciated. With that said, get out there, make it a great week and a productive week, and we'll see you guys next week on the webinar. Bye-bye.